Now confirmed, Princess Leonor's secret ceremony at Copenhagen Cathedral. It wasn't meant to happen. Not yet. Not here. But tonight, behind the ancient stone walls of Copenhagen's Grand Cathedral, Spain's future queen took a step no one saw coming. A ceremony, hidden from the cameras. And now, confirmed. They said it was impossible. That a royal event of this magnitude could never stay secret in today's world of flashing lenses and relentless media. But in the heart of Denmark, under flickering candlelight, a quiet exchange unfolded, one that could redefine the future of two monarchies. This is the story of Princess Leonor's secret ceremony at Copenhagen Cathedral. A story of love, duty, and quiet defiance. And it begins long before tonight. For years, whispers have followed Princess Leonor of Spain and Prince Christian of Denmark. Two heirs, bound not just by lineage, but by an unspoken understanding of royal responsibility. Both born under the constant gaze of cameras. Both raised to lead nations that adore and dissect their every move. But somewhere between royal banquets and official visits, something changed. What began as friendship, grew into something deeper. According to palace insiders, their connection strengthened during a series of private royal gatherings, particularly at the 2024 Danish Gala, where Leonor was seen standing close to Christian during the national toast. Their eyes met for a fleeting second, but the world noticed. The tabloids called it innocent. The palace said, nonsense. But those who were there saw something different, a silent understanding, a shared look that said more. When Leonor turned 18, Spain celebrated her oath to the Constitution. It was a defining moment, a young princess stepping into her role as future queen. But behind that poised smile, sources say, she was struggling. Between her training at the Zaragoza Military Academy and the crushing expectations of royal life, Leonor found solace in quiet letters exchanged with Prince Christian. Letters that spoke not of politics or protocol, but of humanity. Of pressure. Of loneliness. By early 2025, their bond was undeniable. And during Leonor's discreet visit to Denmark for what was described as a private educational exchange, something extraordinary happened. In the days leading up to November, a small envelope reportedly arrived at Zarzuela Palace. Hand-delivered. No royal insignia, only a single seal bearing the Danish crown. Inside, a handwritten note from Prince Christian himself. Meet me where the light falls through the glass, where history remembers love over duty. Those words, poetic, deliberate, pointed to one place only, Copenhagen Cathedral, the same church that has witnessed centuries of royal unions, from King Frederick VI to Crown Prince Frederick and Princess Mary. The date was set quietly. No fanfare, no announcement. Only a handful of people knew, their closest confidants, and a select circle within both palaces. Copenhagen Cathedral stood silent under the northern sky. The city was calm, unaware. Inside, candles lined the altar, their warm glow dancing across centuries-old frescoes. Leonor entered quietly, her attire modest, a cream cloak over a soft ivory gown. No crown, no jewels, just simplicity. Prince Christian waited near the altar, dressed in formal Danish attire. His mother, Crown Princess Mary, was there, her eyes filled with quiet pride and restrained emotion. King Felipe and Queen Letizia of Spain arrived minutes later, slipping through a side entrance under the cover of night. Witnesses describe the moment as unreal, a blend of sacred ceremony and whispered promises. A Danish priest, known for his discretion and royal service, led the private blessing. It was not an official wedding, at least. Not in the legal sense. But it was a union of intent. A symbolic commitment. The two heirs exchanged personal vows, words never meant for public ears. But according to one source close to the couple, Christian's voice trembled as he said, "You are my calm in the crown, my truth beyond the throne." Leonor, in turn, placed her hand over his heart and whispered, "Then let this promise live in silence, until the world is ready." When the priest raised his hand in blessing, King Philippe's eyes reportedly welled with tears. Not out of disapproval, but out of the deep, complex love of a father watching his daughter step into a future that was both beautiful and uncertain. In Madrid, whispers began the next morning. Royal watchers noticed a sudden absence on Leonor's public calendar. Meanwhile, the Danish royal house released a carefully worded statement. The Crown Prince attended a private family event in Copenhagen. That single line set the internet ablaze. Speculation surged. What family event could be so private, so secret, yet so emotional that even senior royals were seen entering the cathedral grounds? Palace aides refused to comment. But insiders suggested the ceremony was a promise of understanding between the two houses, a symbolic union that, if later formalized, could reshape Europe's royal map. Behind closed doors, however, tension brewed. Some Spanish royal advisors reportedly warned King Felipe that such a symbolic act could be misinterpreted politically. Denmark's press, however, praised the quiet dignity of the moment. The question lingered. Was this love-defying duty, or duty evolving through love? Queen Letizia, always protective of her daughters, was said to have embraced Leonor afterward, whispering only, "Make sure this is your choice." King Felipe, though shaken, understood. For years, he had watched his daughter live under the same burdens that once weighed him down, the impossible balance between heart and crown. And though he knew the risks, he also knew this truth. A monarch without a heart cannot rule a nation. Back in Spain, Leonor returned to her duties with quiet composure. At official events, she smiled, waved, spoke eloquently. But those closest to her noticed a change, a softer confidence, a serenity in her gaze. When she was later seen wearing a delicate silver bracelet with a Danish emblem, royal fans knew. It was no coincidence. It was a symbol. Weeks later, an anonymous source within the Danish cathedral confirmed what many suspected. Yes, the source said, a private ceremony took place. It was intimate, heartfelt, and deeply respectful. There were no cameras, no audience, only faith and family. The revelation sent shockwaves across Europe. But unlike the usual frenzy, the reaction was surprisingly tender. Spanish citizens flooded social media with messages of pride and emotion. If love unites our princess, let it be blessed. Leonor deserves to follow her heart, as our queen one day should. Even the Danish press, often sharp and analytical, wrote with empathy. Perhaps, for once, royalty chose love over ceremony. As months pass, questions remain. Will this secret ceremony lead to an official engagement? Will Spain and Denmark see their royal houses united in the coming years? No one knows for sure. But those who witnessed that night at Copenhagen Cathedral say it was not a political act, it was personal, sacred, and real. Princess Leonor's journey is only beginning. And if history tells us anything, it's that love, true love, has always found its way through the marble halls of power. Perhaps one day, the world will see their vows renewed before nations. But for now, that night in the cathedral remains a whisper of destiny. A promise carried not by headlines, but by hearts. In the end, this isn't just the story of a secret royal ceremony. It's the story of a young woman standing between duty and desire. Of two heirs daring to believe that even behind crowns, there can still be love. Princess Leonor of Spain, Prince Christian of Denmark, and a night in Copenhagen Cathedral that will echo for generations.